Attention! If you have ever desired more joy out of life, better relationships, more love, greater peace, the ability to manifest money anytime you need it, then this presentation must be watched right now in its entirety. You did not stumble on this page by accident. You are here reading this now for a reason. Do not betray your greatest destiny by leaving this presentation before it's complete. Fair warning, life as you know it will never be the same. It will be infinitely more fulfilling and full of delightful surprises. Enjoy.
Why are you here? Think about that question for a moment. Why are you here? Now, I'm not talking about why you're here watching this short presentation about the change of fortune numerology can bring into your life, or the love, success, and feeling of peace you'll experience, or even the total enrichment numerology can usher into your life and the lives of everyone you care about. Those things are wonderful, and Brooke and I will share exactly how you can live that life that you may not have even dared dream was possible in just a moment, and how I went from a total skeptic about numerology and spirituality to being convinced beyond a shred of a doubt, all thanks to an odd combination of a trip to SeaWorld, a funny-looking turtle, and the number 3. I know you're curious, and you should be. Yet for now, I'm more interested in you. Specifically, who you really are and why you are really here on planet Earth, born at a very unique and specific date, and given a specific name. That's right, your name is no accident. More about that in just a bit. And the fact that I can show you how your name and your date of birth can be used to go from rags to riches, from loneliness to relational bliss and harmony, from letdown to unimaginable success, and fulfill your greatest possible destiny. However, you need to be warned. Ignoring this information leads to a state known as cognitive dissonance. Now, that's a very fancy way of saying brain fog. There's a scientifically proven reason why this state occurs and why specific numbers unlock your brain's potential, allowing it to access success patterns created before you even had a conscious memory, to allow you into what's called your manifestation zone, the place where your mind and desires are in perfect alignment with the unseen forces all around you, forces the uninformed call quote-unquote luck, chance, or perhaps coincidence. Forces that create your ultimate success in all areas of your life, or, if ignored, create friction, strife, subpar health, mediocre relationships, and financial as well as spiritual collapse. Hi, I'm Gary, and in a few moments I'm going to be joined by my lovely wife, Brooke. Before that, however, I want you to recall what I said earlier. I want you to picture a guy who was the world's biggest skeptic. Now, give that guy a slightly receding hairline, put a frown on his face, give him a degree in mathematics from a prestigious university, and all the ego you can imagine would go with it. Oh, and one more thing, see him as lonely on the inside. Well, that was me, Gary, less than 1 year ago. And I promise not to bore you with my life story because I made this presentation for you to discuss your life story and your life's incredible future. Yet, I think it's essential that you get to know me a little bit first. Then, when I tell you how I stumbled upon the power of numerology and went from a total skeptic to a guy who shares his good news with anyone who will listen, you'll believe it. And when I share my 3 tips for applying the power of numerology to your life, all within this presentation, you'll be biting at the bit to discover even more about it. First, I'd like to clear something up. It's not that I was some miserable guy without a life at all. I was fairly happy with my job, my health was decent, and I had a few friends I think I could call on when things got tough. It's just that something was missing on the inside. Something I just couldn't put my finger on. Something that caused me to wake up in the middle of the night sometimes and just stare out the window, wondering if this is all there is to it. Just eat, breathe, sleep, and die? Sure, I had my share of happy times, but I was never really happy, never really full of joy. I was pretty anxious, in fact, so much that I considered medication at one point. I made ends meet, but I was never financially abundant. I never wanted to be rich, but I also grew very tired of struggling for every penny. I dated, but I never met the one. The woman for me that opened the doors of unconditional love wide open. Yeah, not me. Endless nights of frustration ensued, along with plenty of nights with nothing but cold sheets and a rerun for companionship. And I'd rather not even talk about the horrible dates. I really felt as if there was something seriously wrong with me. After all, not every woman could have zero interest in me, right? Yet that's exactly what was happening. Each date ended in either total rejection or emotionless physical connection. So yeah, I will embarrassingly admit it to you, deep down, I considered myself a loser. And I thought life was pretty empty. I would lose myself in books. That's how I coped with those dreadful feelings of being incomplete, unfulfilled, and even doubting my sanity at times. Books about science and math, philosophy were and still are my favorites. It's the one thing I always had going for me. I was a geek of sorts, but I had one heck of a brain. So that's what I became, a brain on a stick. An empty shell on the inside, but mentally speaking, a sharp cookie. Unfortunately, I was also smart enough to realize that being on E on the inside, a soul that's out of gas, you could say, was no way to live, and that there simply must be more. I wanted that more. So I began by doing something as a tribute to one of my heroes and one of the greatest thinkers of all time, Albert Einstein. Einstein said, "You cannot solve a problem using the same means you used to create it." That's exactly what I was doing. And frankly speaking, what you have probably done too, either right now or in your past, trying to solve a problem without using a different mindset. So for me, I found thinking to be really rewarding, but that I couldn't think my way into spirituality or a deeper connection with the universe. Some call it source. Some refer to this power as God. Others simply say my higher power. And still others simply don't know what it is. And that's okay. You don't need to know what it is, just that it is. That there is a way for you beginning right now, today, at this very moment, to tap into the greatest source of power in the universe and channel that power into your life, not through guesswork, not by hope or by chance, but through the science of numerology. Yes, I said science. Numbers are, after all, the foundation of mathematics, which is not only the only exact science in existence, it's the true universal language. I bet you've heard that before, that math is the universal language. Yet I'll wager that you didn't know the hidden meaning behind those words, that numbers specifically unlock the universe and puts you in control of your financial